I welcome all my students for the new topic which I have just chosen, that is the planning process. Before that, I just want to recapitulate all your which we have done before. That we have just done with the planning. What was the importance? What was the features? And what kind of the plan we can make, and now we are proceeding to do the topic that is the planning process. Now process means a proper steps you have to take. So it means to make the function, the planning function, how you can do that planning function. There is a proper process of it. How you will do each and every, in a process each and every step you are to taken, and each and every step is very much important. They have their own importance. So what are the process? What are the steps comes in the process? We will do it. So you know that in the planning, the very most important is to deciding the objective or the target. That the target means that is the point where you want to achieve. That very point, that specific point, that is your aim point. So in the planning, the very important, the most important is to deciding the objective or the target. So in the process, in the planning process, the first and very important is selecting the objective. Now in the very first point we will discuss what should be our objective. Second, then developing the premises. Once you are just go with or decided with your objective, then you decide about selecting the proper or developing the premises. Premises is just like a floor on which you will work. You will do your framing. Okay. Next is listing of various alternate. Then you are done with your objective. You are clear about your objective. Now your floor is ready on which you are going to make your framing, your plan. The third step is to listing all the alternate. The third one is the listing all the alternate. The fourth one is evaluating all the alternate. Then fifth is selecting the alternate. Sixth one is the implementing the plan, and the seventh one is the follow-up. Okay, so first is selecting the objective, second is developing the premises, third one is listing all the objectives, listing all the alternatives, fourth is that evaluating all the alternate, then the selecting the alternate, selecting the best alternate among all. Next is implementing the alternate, and last but not the least is the follow-up. So this is all the plan. This is all actually the process of the plan. Okay. Now one by one we will do it. The first is, as you know that, so very first point in your planning process is selecting the objective. As I had just previously explained you about that, what do you mean by objective? If there is no objective, there is nothing to do. So there must be the presence of the objective is very much important in the planning process. So it means all the nothing can be done. The other thing is have no importance if you have not any objective. So very important is for the manager is to set the objective or the target, and it means that all the policies, procedures and methods are framed to achieve the objective only. It means that these policies, procedures, methods are useless unless you have no objective. So objectives are one, you have to find out the goals and target or objective of the company. After that you can proceed anything else. It means that is the policy, procedure and methods are only be useful if you have any objective and a goal of the company. So very important is to first make out and do some framework for making of the objectives, and objectives are based on the goals of the company. Okay, so because all the objectives, all the goals are the base to make all the policies, procedures and the method of the company. Without the goal, there is no use of these policy, procedure and method. Next, setting up of the objective and then the target. So also objectives and goals are the point, aims which you are to be get it in the stipulated time. Target, I have also explained it before, that target means which you are get at time. Okay, so objective must be achieved in the time. That's why you are making the plans and procedures, so that in the stipulated time you should have the caliber to achieve it. So the first step of the process is selecting the objective. Now come to the second one, that is developing the premises. It means developing the or maintaining or doing or finding out the floor. Okay, the physical floor on which you can work on which you can make your framework for setting all these, whatever you have set it as an objective, there must be the floor on which you can make your plans. On the basis of that you can make your plan. So it means that assumptions and prediction regarding the future. Developing the premises means assumptions and your proceedings regarding the future. So all the premises is set according to just making and chalking out all the assumptions which is going to be happen in the future and also the predictions. Okay, now the premises based on the assumption. Now see, you try to understand this. The premises based on the assumptions based on the future forecast. Forecast is technique of gathering the information. So it is gathering the information of what is the existing plan and what is the past past policies of the company. So with the help of these two, that prediction and assumptions are made. Or for the forecast, you need to know about the what is the present plan of the company and also what was the past your experiences of the policies. Also, common forecast is made to find out the demand of the product change. See, with the help of this, it means you are to forecast different things like what is the common common changes of the government or the competitor regarding the tax and all. You are to do it in the developing the premises. So next is the third one is listing the various alternate. Now once you have made the objective, you just develop your premises. The third one is listing all the alternate. Now the third step in the process is to listing all the alternate. There may be so many ways to getting a one thing, and manager must know about all the alternate, how to apply all the alternate. The manager must know about it, but also he has to list all the alternate. So it means that he must list all the alternate. He should know about what is the pros and cons of all the alternate. Also he has to list all the alternate, so that after analyzing it he can be able to implement it. So the next step is to evaluating the different alternative. Here the listing of the alternate, then the fourth one is that is evaluating different alternatives. Now it means the comparing all the options with the pros and cons. After making list of all the alternatives along with the supporting assumptions. Now here it means that when once the manager is listed all the various alternate, the next point of the process is to evaluating the alternates. What do you mean by evaluating all the alternate? It means that comparing all the options which is given in the list, comparing all the options means comparing all the alternatives. Okay, after making the list of all the alternate, he has to note it down all the negative and the positive aspect of all the alternate. Each and every alternate has to be evaluated. by the manager. And in this evaluation, he has the work to note down what are their negative aspects of each and every alternate, what are their positive aspects. So it means after noting down all their plus and minus, he must eliminate which has more negative aspect and select which has the positive aspect with the more feasible assumption. So after noting down, he has to eliminate all those alternate which has more negative aspect, okay, and also which has less feasible assumptions. Okay, so it means that what do you mean by assumptions? Assumptions are feasible, assumptions are evaluated in the light of the feasibility. Now assumption means which can be happen in future. You are just assuming the future with some conditions. Okay, so after this, fifth point is selecting the alternatives. Now after doing all the evaluation, their plus and minus, you are to select the best one. Okay, because there is no mathematical formula to assess that this alternate is right, this is the best. Okay, so you need to only assume it that that by practicing that this method is okay or this is best. Sometimes it also happens that it is not only the one method is good, there may be the 1 and 2. You can also mix the combination of 1 or 2 or 3 alternate together to be the best, to achieve the best alternate, to achieve the goal with the best alternate. So choose one or more combination or combination of the 2 or more 3. As such, there is no mathematical formula to select the best. The most ideal plan is the most feasible, profitable and least negative consequences. So the most best formula or the alternate is that which is most feasible, which has feasible means which has the points to be achieved. It is not out of the range. Okay. Also the profitable and the least negative consequences. Less consequences, least negative, less consequences. Next are that is the implementation of the plan and the follow of the plan. The sixth one is the implementing the plans and seventh is the follow up of the plan. So implementation of the plan, it means that put the plan into action. Before that, what was the steps? That is selecting the objective, developing the premises and listing the various alternate. Now listing the various alternate, in this the manager, I have told you about that manager must know about all the alternative which he is listing. It means there are so many alternative and the manager must know about all the alternative, because all the alternative are actually supporting a particular one target. There are so many ways to achieve a one target. So there are so many ways, it means, but manager must know what should be the best way. For example, it means that listing the various alternate means, if we take an example like if the manager want to increase the sale. Okay, it may be increased by increasing the line of product. It may be increased by offering the discount to the customer. It may be increased by increasing the marketing share. Okay, it may be increased by recruiting the more sale executive who can go door to door for the sale. It may be increased by increasing the advertisement for the expenditure on the advertisement. So there are so many alternatives, but the manager must know what should be the best alternative. Okay, so listing the alternate, you are clear about evaluating that all the alternate are to be evaluated, their pros and cons are to be studied and their minus and plus are to be studied. Okay, which has the alternate, which has the more positive aspects and more good assumption, you have to choose it. Okay, so next is the implementation of plan. Once you are selecting your plan according to their positive aspects, the sixth one is the point is the implementation. The implementation means application executive plan. It means that put the plan into action. Plan is useless until if it is just on the paper. It is good to plan, to frame, but until or unless it is not in the action, nobody can know about what are the pros and cons. It can only be done when the plan is seriously be in the action. There are so many other things which is not in the mind while making the plan, but it comes out when it is implemented. Okay, so plan implementation means put the plan into action. So, or doing the work in the pre-direction. So, manager draft the main plan. What is the work of the manager? He has to draft the main plan and the supporting plan. You should also know that with the main plan, there are other derivative plan which is actually supporting the main plans. Suppose the plan is to, you have chosen one plan. Okay, for that main plan, there are more supporting plan like to, buy the equipment of that kind which is required for that plan, to recruitment of the, personnel or the employees for that plan, for arrangement of the machines and arrangement of the finance for that particular alternative. So it means that manager draft the main plan and other the supportive plan. Okay, then when he draft the main and supportive plan, he has to communicate it with the employees. Why? Because employees are the key sources. They are the person. Actually, they are making your paper plan to the action. The paper plan to the physical form, the real form. Okay, so it means the manager draft the main and supportive plan and paper plan on the paper and then communicate to the employees. He allocate the resources based on specification. Now, if for example the manager has taken an alternate to increase the sale by putting the advertisement, target the advertisement or increase the expenditure for the advertisement. So for that he has to do what? He has to allocate the resources more to the advertisement department. Okay, and also select the better media, hire the advertising agencies. So he has to more concentrate on the advertisement. Okay, the next is the follow-up. Follow-up means it is not manager doesn't mean that once he has just made the plan, his role is finished. No. Follow-up is a very important part of the your planning process, because it is here the manager is not only making the plan, also he is monitoring the plan from the very beginning to the end. From the beginning and in between, during the plan is going, implementing and also at the end. So it means that according to the change which is taking place, he has to also mold its plan according to the requirement. It is not, the plan should not be rigid, and he has to take a proper monitoring the plan, what is going on, and he has to change the plan according to the requirement also. This is called the follow-up. So follow-up means checking and keeping an eye to find out whether the plan are working successfully or not. Okay, monitoring of plan. I am using the word monitoring. Monitoring the plan is very important because it helps to verify whether the assumptions and predictions assumed in a plan are holding true in present situation or not. Okay, if they are not coming true, then immediate changes are made in the plan. So during the follow-up, many adjustments made in the plan. So it means that we make plan according to the assumption and predictions. They may be somewhere, change according to the plan. It's not that 100% it will be right. Okay, you have made your plan according to the assumption and prediction, but the future is unseeable. Okay, you can't predict the future 100%. So just because of that, or maybe the environment change, the manager has a proper monitoring on the plan from the starting and during and also the end. And if the required result is not coming, he has to give the or make a changes in between or at the end wherever it required. So these are the proper points of the planning process. Each and every manager has to follow if he is making the planning process. And please do revise it with the help of your books and try to concentrate each and everything very with your mind, concentrate properly so that you have the more clarity. Until and unless you will not read and try to understand with your own logic, you will not be understand the 100%. To get more and more, to learn more and more, you need to open your mind with the concept and also have a proper concentration should be